Welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about dictionaries in Python. You've already seen lists that hold values that you can access by using indices. However, if you wanted to name each value instead of using any index, for example, suppose that you want to access a list of cake ingredients, but you do not know where in the array it is. In that case, dictionary would come in handy. Dictionaries sometimes are referred to as associative array in other languages. They're data structures that hold data or information in a key value order. Dictionaries allow you to access whatever value you want using much easier remember key. Dictionary, unlike lists, are indexed using keys, which are usually strings. There are two kinds of dictionaries that you can use in Python: the default dict, which is unordered, and a special kind of dictionary called ordered dict. The difference is that the key in a default dictionary are stored in an unordered manner, whereas ordered dict stores the key value pair in an order insertion. I created a file dictionaries.py, and now let's take a look at how we can create a dictionary. You can create a dictionary in two ways. The first way is a simple assign an element dictionary to a variable by using curly brackets. Let's start by defining a variable. I'm going to name it dict1 equal to, and we use curly brackets and leave them empty. Second way of creating a dictionary is by using a dict function. So we use dict2 equal to dict parentheses after that. Let's save the file. Now, in both cases, a dictionary object will be created. We can inspect the attributes and properties defined on a dictionary object by using the built-in dir function. Let's give it a shot. I'm going to use a print, and let's use a dir function. And then inside the dir function, we're going to pass in dict1. Let's save the file and run the code by pressing Ctrl+R. And in the console, you can see we're getting an object. We can also confirm that we have an actual dictionary by using a built-in isInstance function to check that the dictionary is an instance of a dict class. Let's do that. I'm going to remove this line of code, and we're going to use a print statement again. I'm going to use isInstance. It takes two arguments, the first one being the object being inspected and the second being the class that we want to type check against. So we're going to pass in dict1, and the type we want to check for is dict. Let's save the file and run the code, and it returns true. Now if I change this to str, basically I'm saying, hey, can you please check that if dict1 is an instance of string class? Save the file, run it, and it's going to return false because it's not the type of string. Now let's take a look at how we can add data to the dictionary. I'm going to remove these line of code, and I'm just going to paste the code, and then I will explain. Now here we are creating a dictionary 1 using a dict function. We're using a key as a state and setting a value for that NY. Another value, which is New York, and we're setting a key city for that. Now, dictionaries can be created using key value pair separated by comma in dict function. You could use curly brackets as well. In the bottom here, you can see we're using dictionary2, and then we're using curly brackets. Now, the difference between this dict function versus this is using a key in a single quotes or a double quotes is necessary. So you cannot remove this like that, okay? And another difference is that we're using colon instead of equal to or assignment operator. So there are two ways to create dictionaries. Now I'm going to save the file and let's run it. And now here we get the first dictionary and then the second dictionary. So now you know how you can create a dictionary using a dict function, and then you use a key, set that equal to using assignment operator, and then set the value in double quotes if it's a string, or you can pass in, let's just say 1. Save the file, let's run it again. Now you can see the value as integer 1. You can use the boolean as well. So I'm going to type true here. Let's save it. Let's run it. Now we get true as a value for a city. You can use any data type and assign that to the specific key within the dictionary. Let's comment this dictionary too and take a look at some more functionality here. So we have a dictionary 1, we created this, and now we plan to add another value to this. How do we do that? Well, you can do that by using a square bracket, passing the key, and then setting that equal to value. Let's take a look at how we can do it. So let's just say I'm going to add a country to dictionary 1. So first of all, we say dictionary 1, we use the square brackets, and for the key, I will add single quotes and a type country. And I set that equal to, for example, US. Save the file, and now if I run the code, you will see the third key as country, and the value for that is US. I'm going to change this back to New York City. So let's just use single quotes, and then state, we can say NY. Now this is how you can assign more values to your dictionary after its creation. Let's just say that you want to overwrite a value of a current key which is available in your dictionary. So let's just say I would like to change the state value from New York to Victoria. So down below we type dictionary, we use a single quotes, and then I specify state, and I set that equal to, we can say Victoria. I'm going to save the file, and now I'm going to run this, and now this time you can see we actually changed or overwrite the value which were assigned to the state key while creation of a dictionary 1. The actual value we're getting here is Victoria. Now, what if we want to access the value of a key not for the whole dictionary but one specific key? You can do that by using this syntax: define a dictionary, add a square brackets, and then type the key in single quotes. So let's do that. Instead of just printing out this dictionary 1, I'm going to use dictionary 1, square brackets, and I would like to see city. Let's save the file and run it. Now I get New York. I can change the key to state, save the file, run it. We get Victoria. Country should be US. There you go, we get US. Using this syntax, if the key does not exist, we will get a key error. For example, if I say country 1, save the file and run it, now we get a key error. It says line 10 module print dictionary 1, country 1, it says key error. Basically it's telling you that key does not exist. So we can access value from a dictionary using their get function. The get function returns none if the item does not exist. You can also use get function to specify what should be returned when no value exists. Let's take a look at how we can use get function. So I'm just gonna make some space here. Let's get rid of this code. Now we can use dictionary 1 dot get function, and inside this we are going to use state. Let's save the file and run it. I get Victoria back. Now if I say state 1, which does not exist on a dictionary 1, but it just returns none because that state 1 does not exist on a dictionary. But you see, you didn't get the key error there. So using get function saves you lots and lots of pain. Now we look at how to iterate through dictionary values using various methods. The simplest way to iterate through dictionaries is used for loop. Now we have a dictionary here. I would like to create a for loop. So let's say for item in dictionary 1. Add a colon. Let's go to the next line and use print, and I'm going to print item. This code by default iterate through the dictionary keys and print them. So let me run this, and you can see we get state, city, and country. You can also explicitly iterate through only the keys or the values of a dictionary by calling the keys method, which returns a list of keys, or values method, which returns a list of values in a dictionary. Use the key method as follows. So I'll use dictionary.keys. Let's save the file and run it, and you get keys back. If I change that to values and I run the code, I get values back. You might want to iterate through both key and value at the same time. Now for that, use a for loop as follows. So I'm going to remove values from here, and then I'll use key, comma, value. Save the file, and now when we print it, we will print key and value. We are going to call a function on it called items. Save the file and run it. Now you get state Victoria, city New York, country US. Now here, if I say equal to, save the file, run it again, I get state equal to Victoria, city equal to New York, and country equal to US. You can also use the in keyword to check whether a particular key exists in a dictionary without iterating through it. This works the same way as it does in list. You will get back a boolean value of true or false. If that exists, you're going to get true. If it doesn't exist, you're going to get false. So here we have a dictionary. We are going to remove this for loop, and I'm going to use print statement, and then I'll say, let's use double quotation, or you can use single quotes. I'll say state in dictionary 1. Save the file and run it, and you get true back because state is there. So if I say state 1, save the file, run the code, you get false back. I'm going to talk about some additional dictionary attributes. If you run the dir function on a dictionary, you will see a few more attributes defined that we have not yet touched upon. So let's go, and let me actually remove some of the code here which we don't need. I'm going to use print statement, and I'm going to use a dir function and pass in dictionary 1. Let's save it and run the code. Now here we have attributes like class, contains, delta, attr, del item, dir, doc, and we can see we have length. And also I'm trying to find the get. So here you go, we get items, keys, pop item, set default, copy, update. So we got lots and lots of function and attributes. So let's take a look at dict.update. Now .update method on a dictionary is used to insert new cube value pair into a dictionary or update the value of an existing one. Let's use update method on dictionary, and basically it's used to insert new value pair into a dictionary or update the value of an existing one. So I'm going to use dictionary1.update. Let's try updating country. So I'll use single quotes, and I will define the name of the key that I'm trying to update. Then you're going to define colon and then the value. So I'll just say Australia. Let's save the file. Now there is a problem here. You can see the syntax highlighted. Its Python is telling on this illegal target for variable annotation. Now it's going to take an object, so we're going to have to wrap this in curly brackets like this. Save the file, and we try to print the dictionary. Let me make a space here, and we just use a dictionary. Run the code, and now we get to see a country as Australia. Let's try inserting some more key value pair. So here I'm going to define a comma, use single quotes. I'll say name and then colon, and then the value for the name will just say John. Save the file and run it, and we should see name, set that equal to John as a value. While using update function, you can define a multiple key value pair on the same statement. Other methods like clear and dict.pop. The clear method is used to remove all the keys from a dictionary. So if I just use dictionary.clear method, let me run the code, and now we can see dictionary 1 is empty, because when the interpreter reads this file, it removes all the values from a dictionary. We have a pop method which is only used to remove one key value pair. So I'm going to get rid of this line of code because it's going to remove everything from a dictionary. So let's do dictionary 1 dot, and I'm going to use a pop method, and I would like to remove a name from it. Let's save the file and run the code. Now you can see it's printing out dictionary. All the values are there except a name. So you can see you can use the pop method to get rid of one specific key value pair. You can achieve the same kind of functionality using del keyword. So I'm going to remove this line of code, save the file, run it, and make sure that we get the name back in the dictionary. So I'm going to use a del keyword, and then I'll use a dictionary 1, add square brackets, and then pass in the name of the key that you would like to remove. So I'll say name. Let's save the file and run it. Now you can see we don't get to see name anymore. Now we talk about .copy method, which is used to create shallow copies of dictionaries. So I'm going to create a shallow copy of dictionary 1. I'll use a variable, let's just say, actually dictionary 1 is a long variable name. I'll change that to A, and we change that A here as well. Now we're going to create a B equal to A dot copy, and then we're going to save the file and we are going to print B. Okay, save the file and run the code. Now we can see we're returning, or we're getting back two dictionaries, dictionary B getting printed first and dictionary A getting printed after. So in this example, you can see that B is a shallow copy of A, and it has all the exact key value pair found in A. However, updating A will not update B. They exist as two different entities. The difference between from using is equal to or assignment operator to make a deep copy where A and B will refer to the same object, and updating one will update other. For example, instead of using this, I will just say B equal to A, and then I will use A, and then we use, let's just say state, and I will use equal to Victoria. Save the file, and I would like to print both A and B dictionary. Save the file and run the code. Now you can see state equal to Victoria for A and also for B, but we didn't update B, but it's been changed as well. Next function we're going to take a look at is pop item. The pop item method pops and returns a random item from a dictionary, and once that item is popped, it's no longer available in that dictionary. So let me just clean up a bit. Let's get rid of print B as well. Now we are going to print a.pop item. Let's save the file and run it. Now it returns zip code 123, and on the next line it prints dictionary A, and now you can see that zip code 123 is no longer available in A. I'm going to make a duplicate of this line of code. Now it's going to pop item from A, and next line it's going to pop another item from A, and the next line it's going to pop another item. So let's see what's remaining in A. So let's run the code, and now it's popping zip code, country, city, and state. Now it popped 3 items, and the last one is A, which is state. So let's get rid of this line, save the file, run the code. Now the last line you can see you have state and city, but country and zip code has been popped from dictionary A. The next function we'll take a look at is set default. The setDefault method takes two arguments, a key to be searched for in a dictionary and a value. If the key exists in a dictionary, its value will be returned. If the key does not exist, it will be inserted with the value provided in the second argument. And if no second argument was passed, any insertion will be done with the value none. So let me get rid of these two functions. And now we're going to use b equal to a dot setDefaults, and that would take state. Let's save the file, and I'm going to print b instead of a, and then run the code. Now we get ny back. Now in this case, the value is returned as is, and the dictionary is left untouched. Passing the second argument in this case will have no effect since the value already exists. Now let's take a look at another example. If I change the value here to, let's just say, Victoria, let's save the file and run it. It's still New York or NY because the value was there already. Now, if I don't have state, let me just comment this line and run the code. Now we get a week because state didn't exist in dictionary A and it was inserted with the value. Now, if I don't define the value and let's save the file and run the code, it should return none because we didn't provide the value for state. State is there, but we didn't provide the value. So if I print a as well, let's save the file, run it. Now we can see we got state as none. It was inserted, but because we didn't provide any value, the value was inserted as none. Let's talk about next function, dict.formKey. The formKey method is used to create a dictionary from an iteratable of keys with whatever the value is provided by the user. An iteratable is anything that you can iterate over. For example, using for loop, you can use list to iterate and use for loop on that. So I'm going to create a dictionary. Let me just get rid of some of the code here, and we don't need to print a as well. So let's create a dictionary of using formKey. So it's b equal to dict.formKeys, and then the first argument would be a list. Basically, a list is iteratable. We can use for loop on list. So we use square brackets, and I'm gonna define the first key name, and the second key I will define age, and then the second argument would be values. So a value we can provide, let's just say John. Save the file, and I'm going to print b. Run the code. Now we get a name as John, age as John as well. Note that if you do not provide a second argument, the values will be auto set to none. So let's remove the second argument, save the file, run it, and now you can see we get none for name and none for age.